Hey everyone, it's Monday. You know what that means? We are live. It-
Wait,
I know I didn't do the
you threw
countdown.
me off with saying
I normally do the countdown, but we're making things up as we go tonight.
we're down a pig.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Stupid morning meetings.
right.
Oh,
I didn't even get to go to him about something that I got today.
what a meeting.
No,
No, okay.
he left.
oh, fucking. I am like half here. I don't even know why.
and you're not even drunk.
No, I'm not. I'm drinking this Bundaberg. What is it? Lemon, lime, and bitters. It's just like it's like a really sour Sprite.
Any
Which
alcohol?
nope, it needs a bit of vodka, but
Mm,
I don't have any
probably.
vodka because I don't trust myself.
You got something going on tomorrow.
Yeah, work actually.
Oof.
So, uh, how was your week? Your previous week?
Uh, yes.
So nothing remarkable then.
No.
Yeah.
Just you know. Yeah.
So,
Really nothing going on. Just it was a week. I had a really early morning shift. Um, yesterday. Holy shit. And I ended up not trusting that I was going to wake up at 4 a.m. because I haven't done that in like
you
a long ass time.
you had to be up at 4 in the morning. Jesus.
Yeah. And so I decided to stay up all night, which meant that after I got home from work, I was just like, that pillow seems quite
So
nice.
inviting.
So inviting.
Yeah. When I worked at Safeway, they put me on the morning stock crew, and my first night, like the night before, I had to close at like 11:30 or midnight or something like that with the night cashier.
Hmm.
And I'm like, really? You want me there at 3 in the morning after working from like I think it was like 3 to midnight or something like that? They're like, yep. I'm like, fuck. So
Uh,
I did much the same thing.
I've had those shifts. Normally that happens on like Saturday, Sunday, because with the way that it works is that Sunday is when the week resets, so the
Mm-hmm.
hours aren't continuous.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't go against the law to work you within, what is it? Because you have to have 10 hours in between shifts, at least 10 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and I did not.
Yeah. I've been trying to look for extra hours at the warehouse, and it's really weird because it's like, oh yeah, we've got extra time from 11:30 to 12:30. I'm like, okay, I have to drive an hour. Well, we have this shift that's 11:30 to 4 in the morning. It's like, no, okay, I can't do that. How about oh, how about 8:30 to something like 8:30 to 3 on a Tuesday? I'm like, I have a shift at 1. I mean, there's a 10-hour day which I'm willing to pull, but I will not be happy.
Yeah,
Ugh.
nah, it just sucks. It's just like, why am I doing this? Why would I ever put myself in this position?
Yeah, fucking last week I'm going to be expecting more of this as we get closer to Christmas. I was introduced to a fluid truck this past week, which is a truck that has arrived several hours early. So this truck that was supposed to be reserved for night crew to sort, we got to sort instead after doing all our flex routes.
Oh, good. That's just wonderful.
And
I love it.
normally our trucks show up with anywhere between like 500 to 700 packages at a time. This one had 3,000. And we had to sort 3,000 packages.
You didn't just leave it on freight and then have the stalkers do it?
No, because they weren't ready for it. The truck would have just been sitting there for like 2 hours. And that truck's got other places to be.
Right. Oh, there was one time. I was closing, and I go back to do something in the back room, and I realized that I cannot get into the back room. You know, the back room size of a small house, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, the hell is going on? The guy who's dropping off all of his freight, just filled the entire back room, giving no walkways whatsoever.
Oh god.
And the manager was so pissed.
Yeah, I imagine he would be. It's like, how do we get to new stuff if we can't open the fucking door? Like, what? What? Who put that man in charge? Jesus Christ. This is why you have other people unload the damn truck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People who actually have an idea of how they're going to work through things and
where everything's gonna go.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a few articles.
Yes,
and
we
like
do.
I said, like the title, and I said we are down a pig. So apparently, I'm going to have to be reading, which is something that you keep forcing me to do a lot more recently. Yeah.
Taking on those additional responsibilities. Think of it as a promotion. Oh, except we can't pay you because we can't even pay ourselves. Alright, so first up, kind of relevant to at least my end tonight, I am not drinking any beer tonight because I had like 6 too many last night.
Because climate change causes global beer shortage.
Oh god, what the fuck? What is this window? Holy shit. That looks awful. Here, let me do some on-the-fly formatting here. And bring that down. This is coming to us from CNN, of all places. Boom.
Right.
There we go.
All promotions are sucky. There, Topaz, you will learn this eventually. The pay is never worth the effort. You just get to do all the things you were doing, plus a shit ton of other things on top of it, while getting like $2 more. Alright, so I have an issue with this open paragraph.
Yeah, so do I.
But here it goes. Beer is the prom king of the alcoholic beverage, winning the popularity contest in terms of total volumes drunk. And because its main ingredient, barley, Jesus Christ. Why are you
We're not even
making me do
blitzed.
this? Is sensitive to extreme drought and heat. Climate change will cause undue pain for all who love their lager, new research suggests. That was a really weird way to read that article. Damn.
There's a lot of commas in that second sentence that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Just put new research suggests that climate change will... Jesus Christ.
It was trying to be dramatic, Buck. He was trying to be dramatic. Global warming will lead to a substantial decrease of barley crop yields, causing beer shortages, and a sharp rise in the price of a pint, according to a study published Monday in the Journal of Nature Plant. The aim of the study is not to encourage people to drink more today, which is what's going.
What's going to
I-
happen anyway.
Yeah, everybody drink a beer. It's not gonna be here in a year.
Guys, the magic fridge is back.
Said someone that I'm not even going to try and read their name. It looks like the last name is Gunn, maybe.
Guan, I
Fuck
think.
it. Guan. Also a co-author of the study and professor of climate change economics, the University of East Anglia.
Anglia, I think. What,
Anglia.
what are what are climate change economics?
The study that climate change has on economies. That does exist.
Okay.
Because mainly in like crop-based stuff. Like the change of temperatures and all that kind of stuff will decrease or increase different kinds of crops, cause crops to not be able to grow in certain areas. That
These
that I
majors
can
are getting
understand.
confusing.
In Norwich, United Kingdom, instead, the study is trying to say that climate change will impact your quality of life. No, everybody just needs to start drinking wine.
Fuck that.
If you
I
don't
can't
want that-
afford wine.
Wine's like what? Like,
Well,
I don't
okay.
even know.
Okay.
A liter and a half of wine, if you cheap wine, it's like $8.
Well, if you go for the really cheap stuff, I know where you can get a 4-liter jug of wine for $10.
Exactly. Be like Tyrion and just drink wine like water. That was one thing that always confused me with the show, because like I watched it before I started drinking alcohol, and then I started drinking alcohol, and I was drinking wine, and I'm sitting there, and the first thought that pops in my head, I'm like, Jesus Christ, he drank this like it was water. Like, not just in the amount, just in the easity of it. So,
Yeah.
it says, if you don't want that to happen, if you still want a few pints of beer, the only way to do it is to mitigate climate change. This person said, we have to work together to mitigate climate change. Does that mean, like, voting for people that, like,
If
are
you
going to put things in place? Because like...
if you want more beer, vote Democrat. Fucking
If you want Democrats,
or
the leading
rather-
party for beer.
or rather, the way he's wording it is, if you want beer to still exist, vote Democrat. Otherwise, there will be no beer.
That's an ad campaign in like 2 months. I
Yeah.
swear.
Oh man. This is
So,
about luxury.
Gathered is a bar after a
Gathered
series...
in a bar. Not gathered.
You know, fuck it. You're reading this. I'm
Okay.
gathered. Fucking gathered in a bar after a series of lectures in China. This person and a group of climate change scientists wanted to find a new way to
Collaborate.
Okay, I know I just had a little bit to drink. But goddamn,
It's not.
am I
It's
worse
not kicking
than
in
normal?
that. I don't know.
We were drinking beer, he said, and they thought maybe we could do something on beer, because nobody has done that. A key question was obvious and direct. How much more will we pay for a pint of beer? What will be the climate change impact on luxury and
Okay,
why am I doing this? Start reading.
Well, no. Just the term luxury essentials is an oxymoron. I don't like his what he says here. We came up with the term luxury essentials. Refers to any item that's not a necessity and not for everyone, but for beer lovers, it is essential. Okay, it's either a luxury or an essential. They cancel out.
I think it's setting the bar at luxury and then like grabbing essentials for what is considered luxury. Maybe I don't.
Well, I kind of get what he's saying, but it still doesn't work. For beer lovers, it is essential, yes, but beer lovers are. It's still a luxury item because it's not necessary for survival. Maybe if you have an actual alcohol addiction, but I mean, really, but
they don't normally have a very big quality of life.
No.
Hoisting their mugs, the team set a plan in motion. They examined scenarios resulting from climate change and then figured out the impact on global barley yields and beer prices. To accomplish this, they integrated 3 strategic models, one for climate, one for crops, and one for economics. Beginning with a model developed by climate change scientists, they forecast temperature, rainfall, precipitation, soil moisture, and other variables in both worst case and least severe scenarios. Next, they used these inputs for crop yield model, which allowed them to stimulate the growth of barley crops worldwide. Under climate change, the majority of countries will have decline in barley, this person said. Still, there will be offerings among nations.
Differences, not offerings.
Jesus Christ. Differences among nations. Just shoot me now, Buck. Why am I doing this?
Hey, you volunteered.
I did. Fuck you.
You saying I should have stopped you?
Yes. The United States and Australia probably producing more barley, while China, Brazil, and Japan.
Putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable there, my friend. Oh,
Jesus
man.
Christ. Okay. Alright, produce less. Jesus.
There we go.
I just. The global regional comparison of beer consumption.
Of bear consumption.
Yes, beer consumption.
Where's Russia on this chart?
They seem to fill up the entire chart. They decided to go with something else. So apparently Europe conscripts word
consumes.
Of 20 consumes 20% of all beer made, while Asia consumes 34%. North America consumes 15. Wow. Wow.
The states have to step it up.
Wait, hold on. How is North America not the first on this list? That doesn't make any sense.
Think of
They're the first on every other list of consumption.
Well, think of the population density in like India or China or Japan. Add those up, and it's gonna be. I think what the population of the U.S. is 325 million, something like that. I don't even know.
Also with all of Europe,
million, billion. Fuck, I don't know.
Central and South America consume more beer than America, like North America. Wow. Okay. Globally, only a small fraction of barley goes into making beer. Only 17% goes into making beer, and the rest of the 83% is actually going to feed pigs and other animals, basically. Juan said, explaining that only good quality barley is reserved for making beer. Obviously, you've never had
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That, or Bud Light, or literally anything like those.
Any macro brew. Really.
Because quality barley crops are even more sensitive to climate conditions than those poor quality. Okay.
Those of poor quality. You're, you're dropping words left and right. Oh man.
I wish I would be easily able to explain this. I'm
Yeah.
responding to what Topaz said.
Yeah, I just saw that in chat.
The increase seen in some countries, such as the US, will not necessarily benefit the beer industry. This person said, according to the US producers, US producers will probably trade the barley to make money rather than making beer for themselves. On average, then, that's a really weird way to put that. On average, then global barley yields will decline between 3% and 17%, depending on the severity of weather. The study has shown the team put this output into the social economic model and included beer production estimates and international trading forecasts. During the most severe climate events, global beer consumption will have declined on average by 16%.
I don't think that's gonna change.
While beer prices are around the world on average double, in less severe circumstances, global beer consumption will only drop by just 4% on average, while price leap by 15%, the study showed. United States, in particular, will see a 20% overall reduction in beer consumption under the worst-case climate change scenario, while the per-bottle price spikes up 50%, he said. I didn't realize this was a long-ass article. I thought this was one of the short ones.
I thought it was too.
We're still here. Alright. Another person, named Caroline, program director of the nonprofit advocacy group, Old Ways Whole Grains Council, remember the weird name, said the results of the new study are in line with other papers.
What other papers?
There's a pretty well understood connection between rising temperatures, reduced water supplies, and the impact on crop yields, said Caroline, who was not involved in the research. Okay. She said the study's focus on barley, if not unique, is rare because most research focused on more common crops. So, for instance, I've seen numbers like 7% reduction in corn, 6% reduction in wheat. The three big cereal crops for human consumption are corn, wheat, and rice, she said. Those three make up about 50% of the world's calories. So they're huge in people's diets. By comparison, barley is less important. It grows as far north as areas of the Arctic Circle and grows in tropical Ethiopia. Yes, that word. Why am I doing this?
I don't know.
It grows at high altitude of the Adals.
Andes, Jesus Christ. You're making me want to go get some of that wine.
That was intentional.
Oh.
She said, so you do see it begin being a small part of diets around the world. It has more fiber than any other whole grain, she added. Barley is also very high in antioxidants and vitamins and minerals. Studies shown that barley reduces cholesterol, helps control blood sugar, and improves immune systems function overall. Whole grains in general are a suitable food choice. Caroline, Jesus Christ, what was her name?
Slater or something? Slater?
Right, I was trying to call it.
Slutyer.
I was just trying to say her first name. said they require less water than almost any other category of crop. The new study then raises a lot of important questions about how our food supply is going to adapt to the changing climate. She said, about 75% of the world's agricultural land is used for animal production. Yes, I read that. Yet meat supplies only 17% of our calories, she said. Taking time as a global culture, really think about where we need to put those resources to maximize the quality of our food supply is a question that is becoming an increasingly important.
Okay, that wasn't you. Who the fuck wrote that sentence?
Becoming an increasingly important.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
there's either a
two
word
things.
missing or an extra word there. Should be
I think
that is becoming increasingly important or becoming an increasingly important one. Pick who the fuck edited this? God damn it.
Meanwhile, is concerned with the price of beer, and in some countries such as Ireland, that place, and the Czech
Estonia.
Republic.
It's not even that hard to pronounce.
With the predicted drop in per capita consumption of 75% in Ireland alone, he said.
They'll just switch to vodka.
They have potatoes.
They do have
Really, the
potatoes.
countries who beer will suffer a lot, he said. Though he and his highly educated fans.
Why is that there? His highly educated. What did?
It seems very condescending. Like going back to the last paragraph. Meanwhile, Guan is concerned with the price of beer.
Okay.
Whereas,
According to
they just-
CNN, the Irish are uneducated. Hey.
friends are fans of the brew. He believes beer is also a working class drink. The shortage would probably lead to social instability, such as occurred during the Prohibition period in the United States. This is something I don't want to see happen, he said. People should learn from the past. If you want to have a choice for not only beer, but chocolate, coffee, tea, cigars, all of those crops are very much valuable to climate change. Yeah, so, like, it sounds like the writer really is, I don't know, a little condescending.
Yeah.
But this person is worried about Dreer.
They
Worried about beer.
They didn't. This is fucking October. They didn't even mention Germany. Fucking Oktoberfest. Come on. How do you forget Oktoberfest?
You don't.
Oh right.
Oh, actually,
All right. Sexist costumes. That's what it was. Fuck.
yeah. Well, that was a fun ride. I stumbled a lot. I say, you take the next one.
Yes, I think I will. So this one comes from our neck of the woods. Courtesy of the Seattle Times. Let me see if I
Yes. Yeah, this one, and there's a few others that we have that are for Seattleites.
Yep. Seattle homeless camp that allows alcohol and drug use is losing its management as tensions escalate.
Okay.
What did they think would happen? Human Services Department officials announced late last month that they plan to close Licton Springs Tiny House Village in March when the site's permit expires. By Viana de Villa. Okay, that's a strange name. Boy, off to a great start with this opening.
Right?
An activist non-profit group that manages Licton Springs, Seattle's only tiny house village that allows homeless residents to use alcohol and drugs on site, is ending its role there, leaving control of the site to the city and another nonprofit. The group known as Sharewheel, which for decades has defined a politically powerful and often controversial wing of homeless activism. Homeless activism. Why? In Seattle, said it notified city officials Saturday that it will cease management of the Licton Springs tiny house village off of Aurora Avenue in North Seattle by the morning of October 22nd. That would end its tenure about 5 months before the permanent closure of the site, which was announced by the city last month. Oof. Well, maybe if they didn't allow alcohol and drugs. Oh, man. Fucking.
Oh, boy.
Sharewheel's decision to leave Licton Springs escalates already heightened tensions between the organization and the city, stemming from their differences over how best to manage housing facilities for homeless people around Seattle. The city has criticized the group for not doing enough to move individuals into permanent housing. Does this look like permanent housing to you? It's a fucking tent and a shed. What the? Oh, there's picture. Yeah, this is not permanent housing.
No. Most of these housing groups are there to, like, rehabilitate, kind of, and then send them back into the real world to make them, prominent members of society again.
This is just like a fancier tent city.
But giving them alcohol and freaking
and probably going, yeah, you can stay here for free. I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. I don't live in Seattle.
The homeless population there is just.
I know.
Let's see.
Well, the
Why
group.
do you okay, keep going.
I was gonna just finish off this paragraph. Criticize the group for not doing enough to move individuals into permanent housing. While the group accuses the city of not providing enough funding and personnel support for the communities it runs. Shit. This is Sharewheel complaining, or this is the activist nonprofit group? Because I can tell you, not a lot of people are going to want to volunteer to basically babysit homeless people and drug addicts. I'm sorry. You got to be especially altruistic to do that.
Drug addicts who have been given, alcohol and drugs. And they're supposed to be getting their life back together. That's stupid.
Oh, man.
We give this notice with heavy heart, but out of necessity. Sharewheel said in an emailed statement, which was also sent to the city, we can only execute our operations safely and respectfully if we are given the power and the respect to do so.
I thought I was reading this.
Yeah. So we're going back to the one paragraph thing.
Okay.
Because why the fuck not?
Yeah. Human Services Department officials announced late last month that they planned to close Licton Springs in March when the site's permit expired. Not enough village residents are moving into more permanent housing, the city said, although Licton's exit rates often exceeded those of other villages. Seattle has launched an aggressive goal to move 7,400 homeless people into permanent housing by year's end, more than double the target from 2017. I didn't even realize that this was a goal.
Wow.
Jesus.
Lincoln Springs mainly drew controversy because its residents were allowed to use alcohol and drugs on site. Behavior that was permitted based on a theory that many homeless people will not take shelter if they are first required to be substance-free. This, and the fact that many had been homeless for years, made them particularly difficult population to house.
Goddamn. In an interview, I'm just stuck on the, oh no, we have to let them in and allow them to use. It's like, no, that's not what a homeless shelter is supposed to do. It's like half rehab.
Get you back on your feet. Yeah, it's supposed to get you back on your feet. The point is to set goals. You get there. All right. So, first goal: become sober. Second goal, find a job. Third goal, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man. In an interview Saturday, Charles Johnson, a senior staffer for Share, defended his organization's management practice. Is it Share or Share Wheel now? Or is it both? Or is it neither?
Share.
Just fucking A. Senior staffer for Share defended his organization's management practices. Share's priority is not to get homeless people into housing, but to keep them stable and help them learn to trust others again, which is a long, slow process.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let that stand.
Yeah. As a part of the city's decision to close Lincoln Springs, it announced that a low-income housing institute, an affordable housing nonprofit that already provides financial support for Lincoln Springs, and the city's 8 other tiny house villages would take over all the day-to-day village operations. The city also brought in another organization, Lifelong, to help the remaining camp residents find housing.
How many organizations are running this place now?
I don't
what the
even
fuck?
fucking know. It's Seattle, my dude. What did we started off with?
Started off with the
activist nonprofit Sharewheel, and now we have another cook in the kitchen called Lifelong.
Yeah. So they're just trying to move the responsibility to someone else. What the shit? Oh, man. LIHI is prepared to take over the village should Share not complete its operations agreement through the March timeline. Seattle Human Services Department spokesperson Meg Olberding said in an email Saturday. There are still no plans to keep the village open beyond spring, she added.
Sharon Lee, LIHI, exclusive director, said by phone Saturday. It's okay, so now that it's not just Share, Lifelong, it's also LIHI.
Who's running who?
Okay.
Too many players on the field, Jesus.
Executive
Call a penalty.
director said by phone Saturday that two new staffers will be hired to monitor Lincoln Springs. Sharewheel's decision is positive because the group's staff and leadership often got in the way of getting housed, sometimes even discouraged them from moving, she said. Okay.
So you think the good idea is to bring in the fucking more organizations. God damn. In its letter to the city and LIHI, Sharewheel accused the two entities of fostering a toxic power dynamic. What?
Oh,
wait.
God.
So... what?
Of course that's what happened.
Sharewheel takes over from the nonprofit who passes the torch to the city and LIHI and Lifelong and then gets mad at them. I'm so confused! And criticized the city for failing to answer its concerns and questions or provide adequate resources. In one instance, LIHI left the village without a case manager for 3 months, according to the letter. When concerns were raised about possible misconduct by a case manager, those issues were ignored, it said.
Wait, are they both on site? Is that... Okay, Share stands for...
so confused!
They're about to explain something here that I don't know. Okay. Share stands for Seattle Housing and Resource Effort, while Wheel, its partner Okay, so these are two different organizations that are partnered together that are in a power dynamic with LIHI, who is also using some employees from Life Group, which all of this is still trying to go through the city. Jesus Christ! Its partner organization is the Women's Housing, Equality, and Enhancement League. Uh, wait.
W-
Okay.
Women's Enhancement League. That sounds like a a very particular group of plastic
Yeah.
surgeons.
um. The combined entity is made up for currently and formerly homeless individuals that has for years managed traditional indoor homeless shelters throughout Seattle and 10 cities.
God,
Okay.
the way this is being run, it's like that scene in Parts of the Caribbean where they're all pointing two flintlocks at each other, and then
Oh
just
yeah.
yeah, fucking switching between the two, like just
You just what?
it's like
Wait.
a fucking 5-way standoff or something. Like it's his fault. No, it's his fault. No, it's his fault. No, it's all your faults. No, it's your fault. No, you hang up first.
No, you.
What the hell? No wonder no one's getting moved into permanent housing. No one knows what the fuck's going on. One group has to take over.
Jesus.
Everything else is just like what?
There's also seems to be tension between all of the different groups. Like they all disagree with the way the other peoples are running things.
Yeah. And well, just like the way the article lines things up to is it sounds like sheriff's like, oh yeah, LIHI is going to take over, and then they get mad because it's like, well, you left the village without a case manager for 3 months, and that makes me go, okay, is LIHI going to take over, or have they already started doing things?
Yeah, it seems like it's this article is having problem with tenses
Yeah.
because it seemed at first that the tense was Sherwheel taking over. Then it seemed that the tense was now Sherwell leaving or getting kicked out, and now it seems the tense is a battle between Sherwell and LIHI
And the city.
and the city.
This
Just
is
like
this article is written like fucking Dunkirk.
oh Jesus!
Overlapping timelines that converge now.
Now
Listen,
they only converge now because we don't know what else is
listen,
going on.
Viana, you are not Christopher Nolan. Please don't write any more articles.
Learn how to use tense.
Or just focus on one thing. Holy shit. Did you just go around to all these different institutions in the span of a day and be like, okay, I got something? Holy shit. Yeah, it was all like on Saturday, wasn't it? Like everything was, oh, this was said Saturday, that was said Saturday. Fucking A. Alright. Next article. This one's also from the Seattle Times, but I think it's from the Seattle Times courtesy of the Associated Press. And, Pav, you were laughing your ass off at this one. Did I lose ya? And no, everything's good. Okay, what's going on? Well, I don't know what happened to Pav, but I'm gonna get things started. He's in the call. I fucking Hey, improvisational skills, everybody. This is by the Associated Press. Doesn't list doesn't list an author, which is kind of odd, but sexual history survey sent to 5th graders draws complaints. Windsor, Vermont. Why am I not surprised, actually? A survey that asked 5th grade students in Vermont about their sexual history, preference, and gender identity has drawn complaints from parents. 5th graders. Fucking 5th graders. Why? The survey sent to Windsor elementary schools students. Okay, that I read that wrong. The survey sent to Windsor Elementary School students was conducted by WISE, a non-profit domestic violence prevention and advocacy group. WPTZ-TV reported. That's a mouthful. Oh my god. A notice was sent to parents allowing them to opt their children out of the survey, but parent Vanessa Beach said she never received it. Okay. What gave this nonprofit the idea that 10-year-olds would have a sexual history at all? Like that. What the fuck?
So the next article.
Yeah. Can I? Oh, did you get up?
Did you not see my BRB?
No, I didn't because my Firefox window is over Discord, so no, I missed it. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna move that over so I can see things from now on.
Normally we have 3 people and we all take turns going to the bathroom.
Yeah, we try to time it, but
there's always at least 2 people here. All right, so you started the next article.
Yeah, I got to the 3rd paragraph. So I just finished the 3rd paragraph.
All right, so I'll pick up on the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
While she doesn't oppose topics on gender identity and sexuality being discussed, Beach says she feels that the survey questions were inappropriate for her daughter's age group. What? Okay. I'll have to read. Give me a sec. Keep going.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice and short one. My daughter is 10, so are all the other kids who took this, Beach said. A sexual partner at 10 years old would be called sexual abuse. Which is true. A WISE representative said the survey questions were created with University of New Hampshire researchers with whom the group is sharing the collected data.
Beach said she told the school that WISE...
Told the school and WISE about...
What a weird acronym.
Yeah, given what they're asking, holy shit.
About the concerns, school administrators and WISE officials said they were working to address parents' complaints. Students were told that they are not required to take the test and can choose not to. A WISE official said.
I don't know about that. Oh,
She said she appreciates other work WISE does to raise awareness about domestic violence.
Yeah, but not this. Just... Wow.
Why 5th graders?
I don't know.
Shit.
Someone at the University of New Hampshire was like, hey guys, I got an idea. Let's ask 10-year-olds if they'd be fucking.
And how they be fucking.
And
No,
God.
It's fine. It's fine. They don't have to take the test, guys.
Yes, we sent out a notice. You didn't get it? Well, too bad. Man, I realized it would have been a better segue to move one of the articles in front of the last one instead of switching to this one, but whatever. We'll get to it.
Why?
Fucking why? Speaking of fucking why, we're gonna jump to an article that I think Tim Pool's already covered this, but I had some thoughts of my own on it. This is from the Kansas City Star. White people prefer white people on dating apps, but that could be changed, study says.
Oh boy!
Why?
Dating applications can allow users to fall into their own racial biases while searching for a partner, a new study says.
What? That's it. That's completely normal.
You're looking for a partner. Like, also that, and I've been on Tinder for a while, and I'm gonna I'm completely honest. About 80% of the people that show up on Tinder are white. So it's like it's kind of hard when you have like a huge disproportion, and like you run into like maybe 10 or 12 out of 100 girls, and 10 or 12 of them is different ethnicity.
Well, I mean, like generally speaking, people tend to date within their race. It's just a thing. It's a human thing, and this, goddamn, this fucking.
But in their go ahead.
Okay, going from a new study says to but in their study. Okay, I don't like that transition. That's a little redundant. But in their study, researchers from schools like Cornell University say the sexual racism that plagues apps like Grindr, Tinder, and Bumble can be stamped out with a few simple changes. The end goal, the study says, is to promote more diverse pairings on the dating sites. Guess who's not going to use the dating sites now?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. How would they do that? So I'm gonna keep reading because I want to know how they would pull that off. Houston, lead author of the study, said said in a press release. Yes, I do this on purpose. Said in a press release from Cornell University that it's really an
unprecedented
time for dating and meeting online, which requires a more thorough look at how we can prevent discrimination on these dating apps.
But that's... Oh my god. The entire process of dating is discrimination. That's what it is!
Yeah, kind of.
No, I mean, seriously, you are choosing who to date. That is... I mean, really, it's discriminating between individuals. Based on who you like and who you don't like.
But those pesky white people keep, they keep only wanting to date the other white people.
Those damn white guys taking all the blonde bitches. Fucking A. Oh, man. Most people are using these apps and they're creating infrastructures that don't get a lot of attention when it comes to bias and discrimination. And when they're critical infrastructures that don't get a lot of attention when it comes to bias and discrimination. He said in the press release. Intimacy is very private, and rightly so, but our private lives have impacts on larger socioeconomic patterns that are systemic.
That contradiction though.
What does that mean? What does any of that mean? What? Yes, intimacy is private, but your private lives impact the world, so they shouldn't be private. It's like...
Yeah, I gotta know, like, are they going to start penalizing you for only swiping on white people? Or you haven't swiped enough black people today?
You have a fucking racial quota on Tinder? Jesus Christ. Hey, we've added Tinder achievements. View 15 Latino profiles today.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So log in daily for more rewards.
Shit. Oh my god. Well, actually, they already do that. Tinder already does that because every day you can what is called super someone, one person, and that picks for you out of people who according to Tinder fit your personal likes, which I still haven't wrapped my brain around yet. But
that doesn't make any sense at all.
It means you log in more. Just how does racial bias play out for the estimated 15% of adults who use their dating apps?
Oh, for crying out loud. Only 15%.
of adults. Jesus. Take the case of this person, for example. He threatened to I'm not reading it.
I know you are. Just
He threatened to sue Grindr, a dating app for gay, bi, and transsexual men, because of sexual racism he faced on the site. NBC reported. Specifically, that person says some
we're changing the names to protect their identity.
Says some users on the site have captions like "not interested in Asians." They do.
Yeah, that some people are just like, Japanese women just don't do it for me. I don't hate them. I don't love them. They just I don't know. Fucking. Oh my god. This is what we've come to. Oh my god. I'm about to pull a puff. Fumlani Congo from Johannesburg, South Africa, said in an interview with NBC that the racism is prevalent in his country too. What?
What?
Huh?
South Africa is just a bunch of racism.
South Africa
is pulling this one part out is a little bit dishonest.
What happens in Los Angeles, where you have no fats, no femmes, it happens in South Africa as well, he told NBC. They will say no rice, no chocolate, no curry. Whoa! Which means no Asian, no black, and no Indian. Wow!
As noticed by the study, which compiled data from prior research, white people are 10 times more likely to receive a message from a black person on a dating app than they are to message a black user themselves. This suggests a hierarchy of attention on racial lines. Hey, are they also going to bring up that women are 10 times more likely to get a match than men? And what about that inequality? Oh,
is this? Are they going to try and claim that the progressive stack applies to Tinder?
Oh my god!
Holy shit! A hierarchy of attention on racial lines. Oh my god.
The study found other examples of inequality in the dating app, including men. Asian men and black women have the lowest chances of receiving a message or a response. White people of all ages prefer to go on the dating site.
Just to go on dates
with other white people. College students are more likely to avoid going on dates with black women.
Okay, that's the next fucking paragraph.
Read it.
Stephanie Yaboa, a blogger, said that she has experienced racism as a black woman on online dating apps, even when people are open to meeting up, according to The Independent. She said that some people ask offensive questions like if they can, quote, get a taste of jungle fever, and say they want to see if black women are, quote, as aggressive in bed as they've heard.
That's a good opening. What are you talking about? Comments such as these are extremely dehumanizing.
That's like if I found a fucking Swedish chick and went, hey, I want to get a taste of that North Pole fever, you know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
The fuck?
Comments such as... Hey, there are people that respond to those in equally as demeaningly banter way. So...
Yeah?
Comments such as these are extremely dehumanizing to myself and other black women who are only looking for companionship. No, I won't go on my dating rant.
Wait. I'm not going to make you go on the dating rant, but looking for companionship on Tinder.
That's not entirely a bad thing. Okay.
No.
It's gonna happen a lot less.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like you're using the wrong app.
I mean, I have I have gotten
Are we?
conversation more out of it than I have sex. So I don't know.
I don't even use it, so explains a lot.
At the same time, I also don't. Never mind.
Going back to the article.
She told the Independent, it seems to suggest that black women are only good for one thing. No, it doesn't.
No! No! Where did
Oh
you
my
get
God.
that idea? Holy shit.
The site's back to previous ideologies of black people being compared to primates as a primal or feral, hypersexualized creature. It's very hurtful.
You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Tinder takes us back before the civil rights movement. There we go.
Is that a bottom moment?
I don't know, but just god damn it.
Even this person, founder of
It's not-
OkCupid. Yes.
His name isn't that hard to pronounce. Jesus Christ.
I'm keeping with the meme. Said that when you're looking to how two American strangers behave in a romantic context, race is the ultimate confounding factor. But research behind the Cornell University study says they have some ways to push back against the racial bias of users. Alright, we're finally going to get into how they're planning on pulling this off. Go ahead.
Oh god. This is going to drive me to drink. The study's authors noted that OkCupid itself experimented with pairing up users and saying they were highly compatible, even though they weren't considered good matches, and found that the conversation between the two people often went well.
So
I
the apps are
kind
now
of-
lying to you.
I kind of take issue with that evaluation. Okay, there was a
Yeah,
conversation,
they're going well.
but did they
Until,
meet
like,
up?
3 years down the road, or like, yeah. it's
Yeah,
like
did
that.
they actually meet up? Because, okay, hey, I had a nice chat with this girl on OkCupid. Not the same as getting a date. Use OkCupid to get a date.
In other words,
I would consider
No.
that a loss. I would.
I would consider it highly naive.
Yeah.
In other words, it appeared that just the mere suggestion that people were compatible made both users more likely to give a connection a chance. The site's authors wrote in a press release that it provides. That's stupid. Then no, because the strong power of suggestion that can be used to bridge the gap between people of different races.
Those two things don't follow. You can't just force someone to.
Well, okay, so if they're saying that the mere suggestion that two people were compatible made the users more likely to give a connection a chance, meaning that is also the case even if they're not giving out even if they're giving incompatible or highly compatible people. So then the study would become null because they would find the same results.
Yeah. That's very flawed.
Yeah.
Another potential solution could come from Nine Monsters, a gay dating app from Japan that allows people to describe themselves without explicitly revealing their race, according to the study's authors. You can do that.
Go ahead.
You can do that anywhere.
Yeah.
Holy what?
The app groups every user into one of 9 categories, a fictional monster, according to a process that includes both the user's own type preference and the community's perception of them. The study says 9 monsters may still sort users into categories along established lines like their body type or weight. It's possible that this recategorization also may help users look past other form of difference, such as race, ethnicity, and ability. Another gay dating app called Hornet. Oh, boy,
Wow.
prevents people from using their profile to mention race at all. Yeah, but if you see their face, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh my god, this next one, holy shit. And a final solution might come in the form of kinder. Okay, is it kinder? I don't know. Is this
I'm gonna say Kinder.
a campaign from Grindr that seeks to stamp out prejudice on its app by promoting inclusion? The study's authors said positive writing about diversity may help promote more diverse couples on the apps.
The new guidelines from Kinder, for example, suggest that users describe what you're into, not what you aren't, avoiding offending others.
Jesus Christ. The whole point of listing what you're not into is so people know, okay, move on.
It won't work. Yeah, it won't work.
Holy shit.
These guidelines exist to let you express yourself freely while also helping us maintain the safe, authentic, and accepting environment we strive to cultivate. The guidelines read, any violation of these guidelines may result in the removal of
Prohibited content.
Prohibited content and the permanent ban from Grindr.
Okay.
What?
Guidelines, not rules. This is what YouTube does. You fucking...
No, see that's the thing. You get on the dating app and you show all of your bad parts of yourself if you want to. That means that if someone has no issue with the bad parts of yourself, you'll probably have a better time with them. If you put on a face and say, this is what I look like, this is how I feel, and then, the relationship starts to build up and then they realize that's not exactly who this person is, all of a sudden, you're just ending up with a bunch of people in failed relationships. What the fuck is wrong with this?
Okay.
But this person, head of communication and Grindr, cautioned against hoping for a cure-all solution. Okay, go ahead.
Kinder is not going to solve racism by any means, Zumwalt said, according to GQ. These issues have been present in our community long before Grindr, but we hope to increase conversations around it and have a dialogue about what constitutes sexual racism.
Jesus Christ.
God, it's a matter of preference. They want to police sexual preferences now. This is...
See, alright.
What is this? Anthem? Jesus.
The study's authors,
concede.
Thank you. That sexual racism is a hard thing to conquer. But this person who threatened to sue Grindr said fixing the problem would improve the mental well-being of people of color. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at that. Looking for a chance to love on dating apps according to The Guardian. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Are you saying you want to be hidden from the fact that somebody doesn't want Asians? And then when they start getting into a relationship, you're starting into a relationship with someone who is racist against Asians? Well, if that's what he's claiming, that they're racist, So... I don't understand.
Jesus
Once you
Christ.
see that this person doesn't like Asian people, your response should be, okay, cool. I dodged a bullet. Moving on. What is wrong with that? Over the years, I've had pretty
harrowing experiences.
Okay. That person told The Guardian. You run across these profiles that say no Asians, or I'm not attracted to Asians. Seeing that all the time is grating. It affects your self-esteem. Well, see,
Oh, for crying out loud!
well, no, I can understand that feeling. I can get that feeling. But in the long run, you just take solace in the fact that when you finally do match with someone, because you're probably not going to like that person who says that they don't like Asians, the person isn't against Asians. And you're not going to have any points where it's like, I'm not attracted to you because you're Asian. I feel like rejection in a dating app rather than just moving on from them in a dating app. Like there's a difference between seeing so that someone doesn't like addiction or seeing that someone doesn't like Asians, swiping left, I think it's left, for Tinder, swiping left on it, and never having to think about that person again, is a lot different than matching with someone and then them saying, "Sorry, I don't like Asian." Two completely different feelings. Like, I feel like your self-esteem would get a lot more crushed. But you know, keep
Keep trying.
trying.
Keep fucking just. Goddamn. If seeing something on someone's fucking Tinder profile that says "I'm not attracted to Asians" is what you'd consider harrowing, what are you doing? Just Jesus Christ, what have you been doing? That's like one of the least harrowing things I can think of. It's like worse than a car accident? I don't know. Fucking A. Alright. Let's move on to our last article. We'll get through this pretty quick.
Oh, this one is a little bit more depressing. Or not really depressing.
Would have made more sense to come after the homeless camp.
Yeah, the homeless camp. Okay, let's keep going.
This is from CNN, so I'm sure I'll find plenty of typos. Hungary's constitution makes street homelessness a crime. Well, I mean, this is one way to fight homelessness that isn't taking money from big companies and just throwing it at a problem.
See,
I guess.
the video seems to make this sound like... Because I watched the video. The video, I don't know if the video was connected to the article or what, but it made this sound like not about homeless people. But alright, Hungary's constitution now says sleeping on the streets is a crime. A new provision which went into effect Monday bans habitual residence in public space and gives police the authority to remove rough sleepers from the streets and confiscate their belongings. Okay.
Under amended Article 22 of the revised Constitution, homeless people who refuse to go to shelters will be forced to participate in public work programs, which they can avoid only by paying a fine. If they are unable to pay those fines, they will face time in prison.
Is that not a catch-22?
Yeah. You're either inducted into a public work program or you go to jail. That's pretty harsh, actually.
Yeah, it's just funny that it's Article 22. Never mind. The Minister of State is the Social and Social Affairs and Inclusion. Whatever your name is.
Okay, I'll give you a pass there, because is that Attila Fruit Loop? I don't fucking know.
Said Saturday that the law serves the interest of society as a whole, and that there were sufficient places in the institutions that provide care for the homeless. But critics say the law is a part of a Hungarian Prime Minister something latest crackdown on some of country's most vulnerable people. Keep going.
Define most vulnerable, like the poor, like not
I think
obviously
that's what
homeless,
it is.
but just
Well, so the video was talking about migrants. So I don't know. I'm confused. I'm wanting to see where this goes.
okay. When the legislation was first passed in Parliament in June, the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Adequate Housing, Leilani Farah, said it raised concerns of cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment against homeless people and persons without housing. It said the government has treated those without homes as criminals. I like this next paragraph. Farah said that there were sufficient emergency shelter spaces to accommodate Hungary's homeless population, estimated at more than 10,000 people. Seattle almost has that many, and it's a city!
I was gonna say, that's kind of low.
If it's 10,000 people for a nation? You're already doing something right.
Right? According to a recent survey by the Vensta, the European
By the
Foundation
acronym.
yes, the acronym European Federation of Natural Organizations and Working with the Homeless. Wow, that's
Those
an
those don't
acronym?
even line up.
What? Out of 10,206 homeless people surveyed in 2016, around a third were sleeping rough. Some homeless people say they prefer to sleep on the street over spaces in one of the countries. Homeless shelters. City overcrowding, lack of quality service, and accessibility issues as driving factors, according to a data provided by that acronym. um, provided to that acronym by Hungarian social workers and non-governmental organizations who work with the homeless.
So I'm gonna back it up really quick here. 10,206 homeless people surveyed in 2016. That number's probably gone up since then. We can estimate. Around a third were sleeping rough. So let's round this down. Let's truncate this to 10,000. Divide it by 3. That's 3,300 people sleeping on the streets. That is half of Seattle's. Holy shit.
Wow.
Wow. Just... what is Seattle doing?
Smelling like pee. That's what it's doing.
Yeah. Those workers say the law effectively criminalizes homelessness and underscores their ability to establish trust with their clients and to assist with long-term solutions. Instead, they will be forced to implement the government's policy of policing homeless people off the street. I mean, they really shouldn't be on the street. If you want to get technical, in a letter to Hungary's Vice President Franz Timmermans Monday, Fianza Director Freak Spinuwijan. What a first name! I'm Director Freak. Jesus Christ!
Oh shit! Okay. Well,
Can't even pronounce that.
This dictator's regime
He's not a dictator.
Campaigns against non-governmental organizations to discourage them from policing their dissent to organizations supporting homeless people and the homeless providers with streets and social workers in Hungary will be required to become an actor in the actual implementation of the criminal act. This conflicts with their social work ethics, which is based on voluntary acceptance of abstinence by
assistance. Voluntary acceptance of assistance. What the fuck?
I don't know. I think there was a conversation a little bit earlier between me and somebody else about abstinence. I'm not entirely sure. Social workers would not be forced to abandon the role as promoters for the social integration of vulnerable citizens. Their responsibilities should be kept clear as providers, not as enforcers of the criminal act.
Oh man, this is gonna be shorter than I thought. This is not the first time that the Hungarian government has used the law to crack down on the homeless. In 2013, the government first adopted a law that made sleeping in a public space a criminal offense and allowed for police to fine those who do so. That 2013 law passed after a law that criminalized homelessness was reversed. Passed after a law that criminalized homelessness was reversed by Hungary's constitutional court on the ground that it violated the right to human dignity in 2012. Hungary's government has said that there are currently 19,000 shelter places for the homeless and that the country will spend 9.1 billion Hungarian forints, approximately 32.6 million, on helping the needy this year.
19,000 homeless shelters to 10,000 homeless.
Something ain't right there.
I
One of those numbers is off.
I'm confused.
I am also confused. Don't die.
At least not audibly, right?
Yeah.
Fuck up the stream. Great. Alright. Okay. So, Hungary doesn't really have that big of a homeless problem. I guess that's what we've determined.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
I guess it's just a matter of should it be criminal or not criminal. I don't really know. I mean, fuck, you got big cities in the U.S. that have... excuse me.
I don't think making it a crime is the right way to go about this. I disagree with that completely. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they have 19,000 homeless shelters. Someone sleeping on this doesn't mean
Unless they're all, like, concentrated in the cities and none out in the suburbs, or... I don't know. I don't know much about Hungary and Hungarian politics and all that fun stuff, so... Yeah, I think that... Well, public work programs... it makes sense. That's one way. But I mean, you could, I guess, putting a fine on them that would just stick with them makes sense. But prison time, I don't think so. Unless it's something. Well, I shouldn't say unless because that's like, well, I don't like the idea. What the article doesn't say is how much prison time they'll get. Like, does it become a federal offense? Does it become... like, is it like 6 months in prison? Is it a year? Is it 3 months? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. To be honest with you, I don't know what to say. I think this makes no sense in my head, at least. How would someone sleeping on the ground or living out in the streets
How would that constitute a
criminal
crime?
act? Yeah.
I mean, like public indecency or urination. Hey, yeah, then yeah.
Sure.
Get him out of here. Loitering would be the closest thing, but loitering doesn't get you a prison sentence.
Even still, like, people sleep, can sleep in, like, woods, and that can be loitering. That's not a place of business.
Yeah.
Or like, a private resident. Most woods are publicly owned.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. So. Alright, well, shall we call it here? I can't think of anything else to talk about. We've been going for an hour and a half, so...
Other than the CEO or founder,
co-founder of Microsoft,
yes, Microsoft died.
Glasses up for Paul Allen.
That is
65. That's,
shit.
Yeah. That's wow. I thought he was going to live a lot longer. I think it was it non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, something like that.
I actually didn't look that up. You were the one that told me that he died.
Yeah, no, I think it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, yeah. I guess someone else is going to have to own the Seahawks now. I wonder how that's going to go.
I wonder if that is going to change.
Maybe Nintendo.
How they play.
Maybe Nintendo will own both the Mariners and the Seahawks.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So maybe it might not help how they play.
Although football isn't a very big thing in Japan, so
No, they're probably not gonna
baseball is.
venture into it.
Yeah. Like why are you wearing such strange padding?
Oh, he died of cancer.
Yeah, lymphoma.
What kind of cancer? Yep, lymphoma. You all right?
Yay! I'm right. All right. Well, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. That's been locked and loaded for October 15th. We did it. We survived. We will see y'all back here same time next Monday at 6 p.m. Any closing words, Pav?
Don't I have lymphoma?
And don't ask 10-year-olds about their sexual history. Just please don't.
Yeah, like, let's not, you know.
Why? All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.